Hey everyone. So Yasmin and Lou couldn't be available for an episode, so it's just the boys today.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah. Um, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Cool.
But yeah, obligatory Blue Minds think alike. I'm contractually obligated to say those words. But he already said welcome. So
Um,
if you haven't guessed, based on our backgrounds right now, we're talking about My Little Pony. If you haven't guessed already,
yes. So apparently the pink one is God, is like a metaphor for God, right?
we're talking about Halo.
Something about Halo. The other religious symbolism piece of media. I need to stop fucking rambling. That's what I need to work on.
Anyway, Halo. So I have not played Halo in a while, but I have played it. Not played Infinite, nor have I played Reach. Yes, I'm aware that is a sin to have not played Reach.
I have been replaying the series, and they are fresh in my mind. I'm currently going through Halo ODST, hence the background.
And I'm Neil Druckmann, hence the background.
Pain, suffering, agony. It'll never end,
Anyway,
will it?
so where do we start?
All right, so okay, I'm gonna lead this conversation, so why not?
Okay.
So Halo is a series that I grew up with as a kid. I'm not the biggest diehard Halo fan. I'm more, like of a diehard Resident Evil fan. But this is a series that I grew up with for a long time that I have a lot of sentimental value for, that I've rediscovered my love for in the last couple of years, especially during the public health crisis that was going on. It was something that I woke up and I looked forward to because I was reliving a childhood memory. So for the better part of the latter part of 2020 and all of 2021, I was playing through all the Halo campaigns, and I mean all of them.
And you're on, you said you've on, yeah, I can't talk. You said you're doing ODST right now?
Yeah, I'm doing right now. I'm currently on ODST. I bought it a while back when it was on sales. It was like $4 on sale on Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought it and I added it to the Master Chief collection, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a vibe, man. It's a fucking vibe.
Yeah, I know I already told you about this privately, but I'll say it further here. Um, like I've played through Master Chief Collection before I had ODST. I've done Halo 5. I've not played Reach, Infinite, or ODST. But like I had played ODST because one of my friends that I had met through Halo multiplayer, he was like, "Oh, hey, ODST is one of those, like, it's like the free game, whatever they give you for that month." This was before they added it to Master Chief Collection.
Yeah.
It was like the free game of the month or whatever.
Mm.
And he was like, "Hey, we should play the game together." I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And so I downloaded it. Was fine. One thing I remember, and I'm hoping they change this with or actually I suppose it would be fine. But like the control scheme, like all of the options for the controls in ODST were nothing like any first person shooter I've ever played.
Mm.
Like left trigger was still zoom, still aim, right trigger was still shoot. That is a cardinal rule of all first person shooters.
Well, I mean, Halo has always had a bit of a complicated, well, not complicated, but it was never like so. Halo was always left trigger to throw a grenade and then press on the right joystick to aim, and it's still like that with ODST.
Okay, that might have been it because I'm like left trigger aim, right trigger shoot. What is so hard about that? But I'm like, it's kind of like the same with like every like type of game that has similar styles. Mm-hmm. Like you go from playing, I don't know, Spider-Man to playing Batman.
Yeah,
it's kind of similar play styles, but different control setups. And at first you're like, God damn it, I did not mean to jump off the cliff there. I meant to shoot a guy. But eventually you get used to it. And I'm sure with ODST it'll be the same.
Yeah.
But the reason I stopped playing it I did not even get through the first mission. Because if I remember correctly, Odst, it starts out where like you drop down into what's like basically a destroyed city.
Mhm.
I think I got in like you're in the kind of like a somewhat-ish open courtyard.
Yeah, someone has open courtyard, and then you
Yeah.
have to look for like clues as to what happened to your
Yeah.
team.
I think I got out of that courtyard maybe 15 minutes later because it was lagging to hell and back. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, I can't. Like at a certain point, it can't just be like, oh I need to like reset my Xbox or something because it's being weird.
Mhm.
Because the fact that literally no other game on my console was lagging that bad or having any problems really, I'm just like, something's wrong with this. This game is unplayable with the lag.
Right. That's weird because when I first played it as a kid, it didn't lag for me. It would run. Well, then again, I wasn't playing it online.
Yeah.
I was playing only the single player.
Well,
so maybe.
Then again, my Xbox has had so many issues in the past.
Yeah. Speaking of Xboxes, the Series X is back on sale again, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be going out of sale anytime soon. So I might pick that up in the next month or so, and I'm gonna give my friend my Series S so that we can play Halo together.
Wait, do you need a Series S to play?
No, you can play Halo Infinite on your Xbox One, but I prefer to play it on the Series S because it's just so much faster the load times.
That is true, but like
I was trying to play the Master Chief Collection earlier today, and it completely crashed and turned off my Xbox for some reason. And I'm like,
Xbox One?
Yeah, my Xbox One. Well, it's the first model. It's not like the newer models. It was like the 2013 model, so it's gonna,
I'll have to check which model of Xbox One I got. It's been a while.
Yeah, because I've been playing fucking PlayStation 5, and my poor ass is playing like PlayStation 4.
Well, okay, we're talking about Halo.
Talking about Halo.
Get off topic here.
Back on topic. Sorry.
Yeah, like Halo, like for me, most first-person shooters, I'm like because I'm not good at like most first-person shooter multiplayers. I don't enjoy it because like I'm just getting destroyed constantly. That this isn't even fun anymore. Like Titanfall, I kind of enjoy because I'm somehow good at that, even though a lot of gameplay is somewhat similar. I'm somehow good at that. And like Destiny because it focuses a lot on story.
Yeah.
But like Halo, I can't remember. I have a disc from Master Chief Collection. I can't remember how I came about getting that because like this was like, my God, it's been at more than half a decade, probably closer to like 3/4.
It's almost a decade. In 2 years, it'll be a decade since the Master Chief Collection came out.
Yeah, because like I remember when I first got the thing, it might have been one of the games I got when I first got my Xbox. Like my dad got me a couple games, something. When I played the Master Chief Collection at that time, and like, and I loved the storyline, like with it,
Yeah.
And it was also kind of because like I was a fan of Red versus Blue, which kind of helped.
Hey, you ever wonder why we're here?
It's one of those great mysteries.
Fuck yeah. Continue.
Yeah. But so what I was saying was like that's probably kind of how I got into Halo. I've never really been big on most Halo multiplayer, at least not like online multiplayer. Certain modes though are kind of fun. Like I can't remember if it was in Halo 4 or Halo 5, or well, Master Chief Collection or Halo 5. When they added in Griffball.
3. I think that's 3. It's in 3, yeah.
Well, they could first add as a mode, but like
Well, Griffball, I think Griffball was around more than that's a tough one. Because Halo 2 changed the game for multiplayer. So,
yeah.
And Griffball is in Halo 2. So it's probably 2. Gotta ask that. I gotta ask my friend that. He's probably gonna watch this and go, "You fucking bastard."
But yeah. One thing though that I haven't played in a while that I actually really liked about it was in Halo 5 when they added in Warzone.
Oh yeah, like the big team battle.
Yeah, like the big team battle Warzone, because it actually gives a non-skilled player like myself a chance to actually succeed at stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, it's PvP, but it's also PvE at the same time.
Oh, sorry.
And you don't have to get a 15 kill streak just to get a good gun. Basically, like if you complete the objectives and go through I think there were 9 different stages of stuff, use those to buy the extra guns, which is still challenging, but it's easier.
Yeah, that's one thing I like about Halo, except for like in Halo 5, was that like there aren't any loadouts. You have to find those fucking guns. Like you're like, all right, you have your assault rifle and you got your pistol.
Yeah,
you want better weapons? Go look for them.
Yeah, and I remember when I used to play Warzone constantly, and I remember every time I would die, I'm like, fucking hell, I have a rocket launcher. Gotta go back. Gotta go right back to where I was.
And then it's gone.
Yeah, and then 9 times out of no, what happens is 9 times out of 10, you die before you get back to where you were.
Yeah.
Because you had a rocket launcher, you're able to kind of get a bit farther into enemy territory than you normally would. But because you don't have it anymore, you can't get to where it was.
You know what's funny? Kind of going back to what we were saying about the controller scheme. Halo Infinite, when it starts out, if you don't enter the control scheme, it's your typical left trigger to aim, right trigger to shoot.
Yeah.
And press the button to the left button left to run.
Left bumper.
Left joystick. Left joystick.
Okay.
Left joystick. That fucked with me so bad that I had to change the controller scheme. I was so disjointed that I was like, how do I change this? And now
to what,
now
left bumper?
To left to where I press X to sprint, and left trigger is to throw a grenade, and the right joystick is to aim. That's just comfortable for me.
I mean, it makes sense. For me, the ideal control scheme would be left trigger to aim, right trigger to shoot, X to jump. X to jump. If there is no jump mechanic in the game, X to hold on X to sprint.
Yeah.
X to sprint / activate a thing. Right bumper, throw a grenade. Left bumper, activate special ability, whatever right joystick or I'm gonna use PlayStation controls for this sense. It would be B on Xbox, circle on PlayStation, possibly to melee, either that or pressing right stick.
Yeah. Yeah, B on the controller is always melee for Halo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels weird because I've been playing other shooters with a friend recently, playing fucking Apex, and every time I'm about to melee someone, I press B, but I fucking crouch, and I'm like, no. Yeah. But no, Halo multiplayer for me is the only multiplayer that I tolerate, really. Even Infinite's multiplayer, even though it has a lot of issues in regards to content and customization, I refuse to pay for a fucking battle pass. I'm sorry. That's just not happening.
That's all right.
It's just what keeps me going back to that multiplayer is just the gameplay, because I can get bored of Call of Duty easily.
I think the last Call of Duty game I bought was Black Ops 3.
You're doing yourself a favor.
Yeah.
Call of Duty I get bored easily. Apex, I was just it's too big of a map for me. I was recently just playing Fortnite with a friend, and I was just like, I want to play Halo now.
I mean, I'm looking at my Xbox right now, and I know for a fact in my car is I think that this for Master Chief Collection,
Mm-hmm.
Halo 5 is this Halo 5 is fucking somewhere.
Probably. But it's the things that like Halo multiplayer in terms of gameplay is just so addicting, right?
I agree. Like it's fun multiplayer, but like
it's hard.
Well, yeah, it's hard because like for me, kind of going back to why like certain first-person shooters I don't like in multiplayer because I'm not good at them. Like if I'm good at it and I can actually do something, then I kind of might enjoy it more because I'm not just getting killed every 5 seconds to no end. Or if I'm not doing good, but I'm kind of like doing it with a friend, then I kind of might enjoy that a bit more.
Yeah. I think Halo and okay, just get out of the way. I think Doom Eternal has the best gameplay for any first-person shooter. Really, it's just the most satisfying to me. But second to that is like Halo, specifically like Halo 3, because it finds this sort of middle ground where it's both fast-paced, but you also have to strategize a bit. Like, how are you going to plan out your next move? And I'm not just talking about multiplayer; I'm talking about like everything. I still think that Halo 3 has the best gameplay out of all of them. Especially since I'm going through Halo ODST, and Halo ODST uses the same engine and gameplay mechanics as Halo 3 does, except for, with the few added mechanics like, Virgil and press X to sort of go into like night vision mode.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, it plays exactly the same. And compared to, Infinite's gameplay, which is a lot more fast paced, it can get very chaotic at times where you're getting shot at like from everywhere, left and right, just things are happening. And it's fun, but that's the only like real flaw I have with Infinite is that sometimes it can get too chaotic. And then you got the first game where towards the end of it, they just throw so much shit at you in regards to the flood that it gets frustrating. But Halo 3 finds that middle ground where it's fast paced, but you also need to strategize your next move. Like you're in the middle of a big battle, the Covenant are all coming after you. You got to take down this big, like spider looking thing. I forgot what it's called. What are you going to do?
The Ark?
Not the Ark. Is it the Ark?
In Halo 3?
No. I don't think. I think it's the Ark. I forgot what it's called. It's like it's a sort of like not a tank. No, it's not a tank.
Is it the Covenant tank?
No, it's not a Covenant tank. It's like a spider. It's like this fucking spider thing that you have to fight on the beach. Think towards like the fourth mission.
Is it this giant spider thing that's almost like a walking fortress?
Yes, that thing.
Okay, I forgot what that was called. I'm gonna look it up. I can't not answer this now.
Look it up, yeah. But it's the thing is, it doesn't just throw things at you. It's not being unfair, like most shooters would try to be. It gives you the tools and gives you the weapons and the vehicles and all the things necessary for you to complete that objective. And when you do it, it's like it's not like you accidentally did it or you just had to cut through a lot of chaos. Mm-hmm. It's cinematic. It's so cinematic, even though it's a first person shooter.
Yeah. And
you feel this sense of accomplishment when you bring that fucking thing down. And like all the Marines and all the soldiers like cheering you on, and especially since this is now like the most pivotal moment of that war, and you need to win this. It's just so satisfying.
It's called the Scarab.
The Scarab, motherfucker.
I'm not gonna lie, like the reason I didn't call it the Scarab was because I'm like, okay, but Covenant has tanks, and aren't those called Scarabs? No, those are called Wraiths.
Those are called Wraiths, yeah.
I forgot what the name was.
Someone is gonna watch this video and they're gonna go, these fucking idiots don't know what they're talking about. And
we are sorry. I have not played a Halo game in years. I have been busy with Batman.
And I'm not too deep on the fucking like lore of Halo. That's my friend who, fun fact, he a few years ago he took me to Halo Outpost in Anaheim.
Oh, nice. And, wait, is that the photo on your Discord thing?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's my profile picture. That's the only good picture of me. And,
wait, hold on. Let's get a good picture. Smile.
This is the thumbnail.
What?
That's the thumbnail.
That's a
But no, he took me to the Halo outpost in Anaheim, right? And
Mhm.
it was weird because like I've been a fan of Halo, but it's been a while since I played. The last one I played at the time was 5, and I traded in 5 because I it's kind of like it's okay. I had stopped playing it for a while,
Mhm.
And then I got in there, right? And this was right around the time Halo Infinite was announced. We got in there, right? And they started playing the music. I'm like, okay, this is nostalgic. And then I see the Master Chief. That's where you see the profile picture. I see the fucking Master Chief is like right there, and I go, oh my god, I'm feeling shit.
Is that
Fuck.
why? Like, okay.
What
So it's
is
like
that?
the moment of that picture you're saying.
Yeah, the moment of that picture. I think it
It's
was
like
like towards the end of that day, but yeah.
there's like the theme, the Halo music, and then you just look over and see the Master Chief.
The Master Chief just right there, and I'm like, oh
Is it like a
my
statue of
god,
him, or is it like a guy
it's a
just?
statue of him. It's a big fucking statue of him, like I think like 7 feet tall, maybe even bigger. And I'm like, I need a picture of this now. We both took a picture of it. It was surreal because we saw all these people in like fucking cosplays and whatnot. Like you had
Yeah,
ODST on there, you
like
had
no,
recon armor,
that is a
Spark.
fucking huge
It,
statue.
it's insane. It was so insane. But the thing was that like even though that happened, I didn't pick up the game until a year later.
Why?
I know. Well, I think I didn't have the money for it at the time.
Okay, that's fair.
And like I had Game Pass for a while, but like I didn't play through the Halo games through Game Pass. Um, there's a story to be said how I got the Master Chief Collection though. It's a long story that I'm not going to tell here because we're rambling on too much. Stay on topic. I'm rambling on too much.
Does this count as Halo, by the way?
Yes, that counts as Halo.
Just this still from RVP. Got get stabbed by a snowman.
It's just fucking Tucker's like surprise bitch.
It's like,
Oh my
hey.
God.
I love the moment because it's like, hey, Mr. Snowman, saying the bad guys around here. Well, time for some target practice. What? Why Snowman?
Fucking love Red versus. The first 13 seasons of Red versus Blue are genuinely good.
The what?
The first 13 seasons of Red versus Blue are fucking
Yes.
The ending to season 13, that's just where the show ended for me. I stopped watching after that.
Like I've watched like most of the content after. Like I feel like I'm not saying that the other teams are like bad per se. It just like it would have been so much better like had they ended it after 13 and like done something else.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying like okay, Rivers Blue is done now. I'm saying like the story of the Reds and Blues and Project Freelancer and all of that. Let that go to rest.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, the entire Chorus trilogy, like if you think about it, was kind of pulled out of nothing almost.
Mm-hmm.
But they made it work. They made it work and it made it work well.
Yeah.
But like with the way they had ended 13, like maybe like keep the world of Red versus Blue and like that kind of universe or something.
Yeah.
But like tell a different story, you know?
Yeah, tell a different story or like, or just like stop altogether, I guess.
Yeah.
At least that's what I think, because it just the Church's final words in that season,
yeah,
fucking still get to me.
Like
because he's talking about how the hero never gets to see whether or not his sacrifice meant anything.
Yeah.
And I think ending it there and never pursuing another season is just it's you're making a statement right there, you know. Because usually with films or TV shows, like when the hero makes a sacrifice, you see what happens, right? At the end. But like, not knowing what happens after, you're in the perspective of Church.
Yeah, you're in the perspective of Church. And it's like, I'm sure like given the fact that we've seen seasons like 14 through 17, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And we know kind of what happens after. I feel like my perception right now is warped. But had we never gotten those, I feel like they genuinely could have had the whole like Schrodinger's Reds and Blues, where we don't know if they've lived or died.
No, we don't know if they lived or died, but that's kind of the beauty of an ending like
Yeah.
that. It's, I don't know. It's just great. I thought that season was great.
Yeah. Like there was something else I meant to say. Another funny thing. So the company that makes Rivers Blues Rooster Teeth,
Yeah.
they have a convention in Texas every year.
Mm-hmm.
I went to it back in 2018.
Oh, you bastard.
Yeah. And one of the things was I'm like, because like one of my good friends, she used to love RVB.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, oh, in season 13, I think. Well, no. Because it was in 2003. I think she had just watched season 13. Season 13 had been out for like a year or two at that point, but she had just watched it for the first time, like recently. And so I'm like, okay. And this was the start of my Neil Druckmann-ness. I'm like, and I told her I was going to do this. I'm like, okay. I hadn't bought any like the autograph signing something because I was too late before I was like, okay, yes, I'm going to go to this convention. But by then, autograph signs were sold out. Like, okay, I'm gonna go find, if I can, I'm gonna get an RVB themed shirt for her. Find Bernie Burns, who's the voice actor for Church, and get him to write on it, "Ain't that a bitch?"
No.
And the story of how that happened is fucking incredible. Do you want the short version or the long version?
Whatever fits the podcast length.
We've had things go up to almost an hour and a half before, and I think we're at maybe 30 minutes, so we're fine.
Okay,
no, it's only 3 minutes. So basically, like short version, I was at like, it was Saturday night, I believe, and it was like somewhere between 7:30 and 8:30 p.m. It was the last panel that day. It was like the Rooster Teeth game show thing they had at the time. I'm like, okay, I want to at least watch to the end of it. Which is weird because like we had to walk a few blocks away. We're at 8:30. No, I think I remember. I think it was supposed to the panel was 7 to 8. And at 8:30, I had there's a concert I was going to.
Yeah.
With like one of the vocal artists and singers for one of their other shows. I was doing a concert there. I'm like, okay. And it was a bit of a walk away. And so I'm like, okay, but like I need like the moment that this thing ends and like all the panel ends, I'll walk out and like I'll just bypass and I'll not stay for like the hey, thanks for coming to watch, we enjoyed your RTX because I gotta go.
Yeah. I
did that. The moment did, okay, let's leave. As I'm passing out the door, I look over to my right, and there was fucking Bernie Burns right there. She happened to pass him on my way out. He was walking in, and I'm like, "Fuck, that's him." Here's the funny part. Well, there's two funny parts. Earlier that same day, I was waiting. So like, earlier that same day, I went to like obviously at every convention, there's a giant shop where you can buy merchandise and stuff. And they had a giant one for this one. I had gotten like a few shirts and stuff for myself, obviously, and I specifically picked, okay, this is gonna be the one I'm gonna have Bernie sign.
Yeah.
Earlier in the day, I think at one point my mom and I was like, okay, we've done it because I was there with my mom at the time because it was my first time going to any convention. I'm like, she's down for anything, and I also don't want to go alone because it's my first convention now.
Yeah.
And so we were waiting in line at like a cafe, like a block or two away from the convention center, getting lunch.
Yeah.
And at the time I had like 2 or 3 bags of merchandise, and she was like, okay, you basically what we agreed was I would stand in line so that we wouldn't lose our spot, and she would quickly take the bags and run back to our hotel just to drop the merch off so we won't have to constantly carry it. last minute, I'm like, oh wait, hold on. I grabbed the shirt I bought to have Bernie sign, kept that with me because I'm like, if I run into Bernie and I don't have the shirt, I'm gonna fucking I'm never gonna forgive myself. And so fast forward to later that evening, I fussed my Bernie. I'm like, fucking mom. I like scrounge around my pockets, practically rip her purse out of her hand almost. Not actually.
Yeah.
Neither of us had any sort of writing utensil on us. And I'm like, no. And then I hear a voice to my right. And I remember the words exactly. It was like, do you want something signed? I look over. Bernie has a marker in his hand and is looking at me. No! He overheard me talking about not having a marker. And he was like, do you want something signed? And I'm like, yes, please.
No!
Not even joking. True story. True story.
Holy shit!
Bernie overheard me saying I didn't have a marker. Literally, because like the convention center, like they have those airport scanner type of things you have to walk through for security purposes. We were literally standing. I was literally 2 feet from the door. We were literally in the middle of the security area. I'm pretty sure my mom was like walking ahead of me. She had the door open to leave as Bernie walked in, and I'm like, "Fucking Bernie, I can't get a marker. You want something signed?" And I got the signature.
No.
Yes.
Fucking way.
Not even joking.
Dude, that is fucking insane. the amount of luck that one person has to have for that time. It's like, fuck, I don't have a marker. Hey man, you want something signed? What the shit?
Yeah, because so I got this thing signed.
That is insane. That
is
fucking insane, man. Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah.
This is my endorsement to anybody who's watching this. Lou, Yasmin, whoever the fuck is watching this shit right now, go watch Red versus Blue for the love of
Lou, Yasmin, Travis Willingham, Bernie Burns.
Bernie Burns sees this, he's gonna be like, "Hey, I remember that kid."
Hey, I remember him.
Oh, that is insane.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude.
Don't worry. I have another similar story, kind of.
Oh my god, who the fuck?
Well, it's not nearly as good as that one. Like, there's not like luck involved. It's just a normal thing. Fast forward 2019, I go to the convention again, but I go myself this time because now that I know what I'm getting into, I feel prepared to go myself. And I'm like, okay, well, I got a shirt last year. Screw it, I'm gonna get a shirt again this year. Miles Luna and Carrie Shawcross. Miles voices Felix, Carrie voices Palomo.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm probably only gonna be able to get like one photograph thing. And I specifically bought a ticket to get a photograph with them. And I'm like, okay, while I'm there, I'm just gonna I'm gonna get another shirt for my friends, have both of them sign it with something. It's funny because the shirt I got, it was I think it was released that year for RTX. But like it was first released in the RTX store. It might have been RTX exclusive, actually. Either way. So the shirt was a shirt that was all yellow, and it was like a sister themed shirt. You know?
Oh my god.
And it was like a sister themed baseball jersey. It was all yellow, and then white lettering on the back, like it said like sister and the last name, and the number was 69.
I am just picturing Griff just losing his shit.
Yeah. And so what I ended up doing was like it was one of the days. I go over there, I get in line, and I'm like, I basically like, hey, I'm getting this signed for my friend. Can both of you just write the weirdest thing your RVB characters would say? If you have to think about it, what Carrie or Palomo wrote, well, like doesn't really seem that like odd, but also knowing Palomo probably is. Okay. So what Carrie wrote on it was, I mean, I haven't, but I would. Take with that what you
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's
Yeah.
like something like that. And then and then while I think it was like while Carrie was running that, Miles was thinking of something to say. He literally had to check. Like Miles was like, "Okay, I'm gonna check with you, make sure this is okay to write." And I'll have you know, yes, he did write it on there. I was like, "Yes, go for it." You want to know what his idea was?
Yes, please tell me.
Yeah, I'd kill that baby. I was like, hey, what's the weirdest thing your RPG characters would say?
It's like, yeah, I kill that baby. No context, no context.
No context, just hey, it's a baseball shirt, sister, 69, written on one side. Yeah, I mean, I haven't, but I would. Yeah, I'd kill that baby.
I just imagining Felix and who's the other one that had like the green armor? His partner,
Locust.
Locust, such a badass fucking name too. Just walking like down the hallway after like coming out from like a meeting. It's like, yeah, I'd kill that baby.
Yeah,
just walking down the hall.
I was gonna go in 2020, before COVID happened, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna continue the tradition again. I'm gonna get another shirt, do all that. I was this time gonna get Jen Brown and Shannon McCormick.
Oh my god.
You know who they voice, right?
I think remember who they voice.
Jen Brown voices Carolina and Shannon McCormick voices Washington.
Ah!
I was gonna have them sign it, and I'm like, okay. I can't think of a good quote off the top of my head for either of them to write. And I can't just have them write the same weird thing again because that would be repeat of last year. Before I could think of a good quote to write, it was canceled because COVID.
Yeah.
My tickets I already had the tickets though, and they're still valid for 2022. So
hopefully they bring it back for 2022.
No, they are. It's been like they've already announced that they have like ticket stuff on sale. Because they canceled it for 2020 and then 2021 as well.
Yeah. And I mean Texas is Texas.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Yeah.
But, yeah.
So to sort of bring it back to Halo.
Yeah. That was a tangent of.
Well, it's still in the context.
I mean, like it's gotten to Reverse Bill's gotten to the point where there are little Easter eggs and even a goddamn game mode in Halo.
I know.
Man. Like you can't
It's not pink. It's a lightish red. that's the armor description in Halo Infinite for pink.
That's right. I remember.
Yeah.
I can't. Like one of the things that like it says it's not pink or it's just lightish red for the pink armor.
Lightish red for fucking donut.
Donut.
But to bring it back to Halo. Oh man, I don't think. Not even Halo 5. I don't think there's really a bad campaign in Halo. Because Halo 5 was meh at best, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And Halo Infinite is, in my opinion, is a fucking great campaign. It plays it a little too safe for my liking. Thanks, Neil Druckmann and Last of Us Part 2. You ruined everything for me. But Laurie looked at me like, the fuck, bro?
I was like, the fuck. Like, here's the thing. When we play D&D, I've been called Neil Druckmann so many times to the point that when you said Neil Druckmann just now, I'm like, the fuck did I do?
Some context. We all play D&D together. This man likes to torture us.
Like me, Lou, Yasmin, Danny, and a few of our other friends. We all play D&D together. I'm the DM. And I have been called several times Neil Druckmann because I will torture the players.
Yeah, that's true. And Neil Druckmann likes to torture his characters, but that's besides the point.
Which and I mean, like, which isn't to say, well, okay, that's partially to say my DMing style because I just like to fuck with people.
Yeah.
But like there's a reason, there's like a deeper kind of reasoning behind it, which I can't say, and it's also anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's why I call Neil Druckmann.
That's why I call Neil Druckmann. But Halo Infinite's campaign is really, really good. Like I'm going through it, I'm like, yeah, this is a fucking solid campaign. It's it's the best well-written 343 Halo campaign, in my opinion.
Yeah, because which ones did Bungie do?
Bungie did the first 3 games, ODST and Reach.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
and then
343 did 4, 5, and Infinite.
Yeah, and Infinite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I've never played. I haven't played Halo Infinite's campaign yet. Did they like set up at the end, or at least leave it somewhat open ended for the possibility of another game?
They left it open ended for the possibility of another game or maybe even an expansion, because according to 343, they want Halo Infinite to be this grand Halo experience where they keep adding stuff to it.
So they want it to be Destiny 2.
I'm thinking more along the lines of Doom Eternal in regards to like the campaign, because Doom Eternal has a 20-hour long campaign, but then they released the Ancient Gods Part 1 and 2 a year later.
Okay.
Yeah, that's sort of the route that I think they might be going in, but who knows? I guess
Just make sure don't do the same mistake that Bungie has been doing. Yes, Bungie, if you're listening, take these words to heart. Don't add too much into the game. Otherwise, you'll create a like 100 gigabyte size game file, which in of itself is fine. It just takes a moment to download. It's when it gets so large that you literally, the game itself can't handle there being so much content. You have to quote unquote archive, aka just straight up delete old stuff to make room for the new stuff you're putting in. Like if it gets to that point, just make a separate game.
Just make a sequel. Damn it, man.
Like I understand a lot of people didn't like how Destiny 2 has basically the same gameplay as Destiny 1. If the gameplay is already good, then that's not how it has to be a bad thing. It's just if you make the game so large they have to remove stuff to add new stuff, then you've done too much.
Yeah, then at that point it's like might as well just buy a separate console for that one game.
Yeah, so like if Infinite is kind like again the only context of what you're explaining that I have or would understand is like Destiny 2.
I think more mixed of the way Call of Duty was doing it for Warzone, just kept adding unnecessary bullshit to the fucking game.
But yeah, like basically don't add too much, otherwise there will be too much.
There will be too much. Yes, please, God, fucking studio, stop fucking giving us hundreds.
Like we want more content always. Like we're always down for more expansions and more stuff.
But like,
but if you put them all into the same base file or base game,
then that's a problem. Like
that's a problem.
I swear to fucking God, if for some reason they make it harder for me to access the goddamn campaign, I will flip my shit. Yeah. Because I do like this campaign. I like it a lot, and I like playing it. I'm on my second playthrough now on Heroic, and it's a good time.
Of which one? Of
Infinite, yeah.
Okay.
It is genuinely. It's not the best. It's not a masterpiece. I have issues with the campaign, but it's very well written, and it hits all the emotional beats that it wants to.
Nice.
Yeah, but in regards to the campaigns, I still think that nothing has topped Bungie's Halo games, in my opinion. Like Halo 3 is still my favorite. It's so, to me, it's the perfect Halo game. You know, it's not too slow, it's not too fast. It finds its middle ground, and it tells a complete story that's, it's finishing the fight,
Yeah.
And it builds upon what the previous two games did. And it comes to a satisfying conclusion. Now I'm of the unpopular opinion that leaving it at, wake me when you need me is a little too open-ended for the conclusion of a game series. Like, I feel like Bungie shot themselves in the foot there when they gave us that ending.
For Halo 3?
For Halo 3, yeah. For Halo 3.
Cause now that you mention it, because like it's been a while, but it's coming back to me. Because like, if I remember correctly, Halo 3 is basically like. So here, I'm about to talk about the plot of the Halo games.
Go for it.
This is also halfway from my own benefit, so I can kind of remember. like Halo 1 is basically it's kind of like them. It's kind of like Master Chief, kind of fighting across the places like to stop coming from activating the Halo or something.
Yeah.
And then he does that, doesn't he destroy it actually, that Halo?
He destroys that Halo, but there's multiple rings.
So yeah. And then Halo 2 is kind of the search for the Ark, right?
Yeah.
Which is supposedly the thing that can activate every Halo in the universe.
Yes.
Yeah, and at the end of 2, Cortana gets off the grave mind, and it's revealed that the Ark is on Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's real that the Ark is on Earth.
Yeah, and then Halo 3 is about rescuing Cortana and destroying the Ark before all Halos can be activated, right?
Yeah, destroying that and destroying the last Halo ring that's on there, like the second Halo ring.
Yeah.
Or is it the second Halo, or is it the first Halo ring that they found? I gotta
remember.
Go back to that.
And then
that's what that's about.
Yeah. And I'm actually and I think I'm actually remembering this part. As basically, don't think they kind of like vaporize the Ark or something. Like, boy, doesn't the Ark like start like powering up, but it gets destroyed as it's being activated almost?
Yeah, I believe so.
In doing so, basically just vaporizes the entire area,
mm-hmm.
if I remember correctly. And basically, Master Chief just jumps on a ship with UNSC people, but the wormhole they're in closes halfway through, leaving Cortana and Chief stranded in empty space.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then basically, Chief goes into stasis while Cortana, so that he doesn't die of starvation or dehydration, while Cortana stays and tries to contact anyone. And then Halo 4, I believe, starts off with like at the end of that when I might be confused with Halo 5. It's Halo 4. It's at the beginning of Halo 4 or 5. No, it's Halo 4 because I remember Cortana was there when basically they their flowing piece of debris stumbles upon an entire Covenant fleet.
Yeah, they stumble upon an entire Covenant fleet, and then they find a Forerunner planet.
Yeah, they found a Forerunner planet, which is where all that stuff happens. Yeah.
And then Halo 5 is basically the Bourne identity. Master Chief goes rogue looking for Cortana.
Yeah, Master Chief he goes off from the UNSC because he's trying to save Cortana, who is apparently still alive.
Yes.
But in order to save herself from deleting herself, she basically had to, hey, I'm going to pause my mental degradation or mental defragmentation, if that's what I don't know.
Yeah.
But in doing so, it'll pause it, won't reverse it. She was basically a monster when that happened.
Yeah.
Which, now I don't know if the Halo games are one to do something like this, but and I also haven't played Infinite, so I can't know. But like, if they were to take the approach that a lot of like story-driven games do, something nice would be to like, is there a way to like either reverse Cortana's reverse Cortana's instability or whatever the term is, or is the way to like, we can get like this Cortana's gonna die, but we have another copy of Cortana, but like she won't have all the memories of her time with Chief, maybe, or something.
I'm gonna keep my fucking mouth shut. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Please do, because I once I have more money, I would like to get Infinite.
Do you have Game Pass at all?
Maybe. Is it on Game Pass?
It's on Game Pass. Yeah, all the Halo games are on Game Pass.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I have Game Pass.
If you do have Game Pass,
how much does Game Pass cost?
$14 a month.
14?
Yeah, 14. But like, it adds up. I'd rather you just buy a copy.
Well, when you get Game Pass, can you like? Is it like the PlayStation Plus collection where you can download the game and then even if you don't have Game Pass after that, you still technically have the game?
No, it's more like Netflix, where if you cancel your subscription to Netflix, you can't watch.
Oh, it's like okay, that makes sense.
So that's why I said
like, okay. In that case, I'll probably save up a bit and get the game at some point. Yeah, but like,
let me keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, either those two things I said, or like, I can't again like it's kind of diving into continuing after season 13 of RBB territory here almost.
Yeah.
where like if they could find a way to bring it back to the end of Halo 4 type of thing, where like Cortana, because like at the end of Halo 4, I thought Cortana was dead.
I think everyone did.
Yeah, everyone thought Cortana was dead, and turns out she's not dead.
Yeah.
I feel like you're kind of with bringing her back and the way it might go. I feel like it's kind of dangerously getting close to that same continuing RVB territory. But I feel like if they do it right, they could do it right of, for lack of a better term, redoing what they did in Halo 4, but actually having it stick this time.
Yeah.
Like they obviously couldn't go the exact same route. They would have to be like,
I want to send you $60 right now because I gotta keep my fucking mouth shut.
How long have we been going for? Is there a way to check?
I don't know.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna pause recording real quick. I don't know if there's a way to
check. All right, well, fuck it. It is what it is. We'll edit it down.
Okay.
But yeah, going back to our, it all comes back to our, well, it's within the same thing, so we're still on topic. But similar to how RVB should have ended with season 13, I feel like if Bungie hadn't, done the "Wake Me When You Need Me" ending, I feel like Halo 3 would have been the perfect ending for the franchise. Like you could still, make money off Halo, like with the Master Chief Collection for the newer consoles, but I feel like Halo 3 just feels like such a proper finale that leaving it open for continuation sort of not brings it down, but it takes a little bit of the weight off of it.
Yeah. Again, it's been a long time since I finished Halo 3, so my memory's a bit fuzzy. But from what I do remember, I see where you're coming from. I feel like if they removed everything from Halo 4 onward and kind of tweaked the ending of Halo 3 a bit to give it a bit more of that extra finale. Finesse. Finalistic. Fuck, I can't remember words.
Finale.
Yeah. How's it feeling?
To give it more of a finale.
Yeah.
Like just be like, hey, this is it. We're done here. I think,
don't just have them be drifting off in space. Have like a bit more confirmation that this is the end for them, type of thing. That could have worked.
Yeah, and you can still make Halo games too, like Halo ODST or Halo Reach. You can tell stories within that story world.
Yeah, but like I feel like it's kind of also could take the same route as at least with Halo 4 it is. Halo 5 and Infinite, I'm not gonna get in discussion with that part, but in terms of like, it's kind of like The Last of Us, how they did it. Mm-hmm. With like Halo 1, 2, and 3 in this metaphor would be like Last of Us Part 1, where you have a complete told story, the story is good, you could end it there and it'd be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But when you see what comes after it, when you see what it is, like right now, having played Halo 4 and then looking back at the story of Halo 1, 2, and 3, how could you not have Halo 4 there at least?
That's true.
And
so
the same thing with Last of Us Part 1, Part 2. Last of Us 1, it didn't need a sequel. Like it could have been just that's the game, that's fine. But knowing what Part 2 is, how could you not have that?
Oh yeah, I agree. By the way, Last of Us Part 2 is good. Fuck all of you.
Last of Us Part 2 was good. This is the official opinion of the Blue Month Link Lake channel.
You shouldn't die, fuckers.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Opinions are opinions. But yeah, I agree
with that. Opinions. Some are just wrong.
Again, some are just wrong. You fucking nerds.
Anyway.
But yeah, I do agree with that because with Halo 3, when Halo 3 ended, and I got to the Waking When You Need Me ending, I was like, well, there's got to be another one. There has to be another Halo game. Like you can't just leave it at that, because either you kill him or he's or you see he sees the end of the battle, right? But no, you left it open ended, so there has to be a fourth one.
Yeah,
and this is my And Halo 4 has a genuinely good campaign. I'll admit that. It's a
agree.
good campaign. And so is Halo Infinite. But I feel like, again, nothing for me has topped what Bungie did. Because they knew what the story was going forward. They had it mapped out. Like Halo 3 was supposed to be Halo 2. Halo 2 was supposed to be long as shit. But
I remember that actually. Yeah,
yeah.
Halo 2 and 3 was supposed to be one game.
It was supposed to be one game, but I had to cut it. So it's like, all right, well then this is going to be the plot for Halo 3. But it's it just feels like a whole cohesive story. And then you got like Halo Reach, right?
Yeah.
Which is what comes before Halo 1. And when you play that game and then you jump into Halo 1 has much more weight to it. It's like when you watch Rogue One and then you watch A New Hope.
Yeah, because
New Hope has much more weight to it than it did when you first saw it.
I completely agree because I still haven't played Reach, but I know that literally at the end of Reach, don't you get into a drop pod, and that literally ends up being the same drop pod you start Halo 1 in.
Yeah. So
yeah,
you're in for a ride if you play Halo Reach. Just get some.
I have ODST. I own ODST on my Xbox. That I could play right now if I wanted. Well, first I'd have to hook up my Xbox, which would take a moment of itself.
Listen, when you play Reach, just get some tissues, man. Just leave it at that. I'm not gonna say anything else. Just get some tissues.
I will have you know, there has literally never been a game that has made me cry. Last of Us Part 2 came fucking close. So.
Oh fuck, dude.
Which isn't to say I don't get sad at games. I just don't cry. That's not how I show sadness.
It's okay, yeah. But yeah, Halo Reach, and then Halo ODST as well. Halo ODST has so much more weight to Halo 3 because that game impacts the overall story and the trajectory of Halo 3 and how the war goes from that point forward. But the thing that Halo ODST does, and I'm talking about this one because it's fresh in my mind because I'm replaying it right now, is that you're not a Spartan. You're a fucking Marine. You are
a Marine, yeah.
Yeah, but you're just a different branch of Marine. You're an ODST, an orbital drop shock trooper, right?
Yes.
But you don't have power armor. You're not a super soldier. You're just a soldier. You just dropped in from the fucking space and you have cool armor, which I'd be an ODST in a minute. God damn.
I remember when I first heard the name orbital drop shock trooper, I'm like, what I imagined and what I would love to see in a Halo type of media or medium is you drop from orbit, but you don't drop in the drop pod. You are just boop from orbit. You have you basically have you give basically the Ironmonger suit from Iron Man 1, which hey, this suit is going to decompose upon entry, but it will keep you alive and mostly intact until you get to the ground.
I find it funny because that's how Halo 3 starts, is that you're just fucking dropping from the orbit, but you don't have the fucking pods, you just drop. That's how Halo 3 starts.
You're just dropping from orbit.
He fucking jumps from a falling ship. It's just well, this is happening now. I don't have a parachute and I don't have fucking I'm the Master Chief who just dives in.
One thing I wanna if I was more into Halo, I would probably try to do one of those things. You ever see those clips online of you shoot a warthog with a rocket launcher and it goes flying 50 miles?
Yeah.
Or if you have a grenade in this exact spot, you shoot the grenades with a rocket launcher this right way, it'll blow up the grenades and shoot the things and send you flying 50 feet in the air. I remember I saw this thing of I want to say it was Halo 3, I think. Halo 2 or 3. There's that mission where you basically have to cross where the entire map is just one huge fucking canyon. And you have to, with some structures and stuff, you have to cross the entire thing while the entire area is filled with enemies who are trying to kill you.
I think that might be 3.
Okay, yeah, I that's what I thought it was. I saw this thing of a guy who did this weird, if I remember it correctly, he basically got in a warthog, he got in the warhog, positioned in such a way, hijacked a wraith.
Yeah.
He like shot like the wraith, like the giant tank thing from like straight up or something, like at an angle or something, in such a way where it would hit the warthog. Got out, ran over to the warthog, threw like a grenade at it or something, got in the driver's seat just as the thing for the wraith hit the ground, blew up the grenades in such a way where it literally launched him across the entire canyon.
Talking about a fucking speed run.
Yeah, and that like I'm probably remembering parts of that wrong, but it was literally he got launched across the entire canyon.
Yeah. Going back to ODST after a long ass tangent, my apologies.
This is the Blue Man Stinking Lake channel. We are always about tangents.
We're always about
tangent, the off topic podcast. Shameless plug.
But it does this thing where that you can't jump high. You have to find med packs, and they ditched med packs after Halo 2. In the ODST they bring it back because like, yeah, no, you're not a fucking Spartan. You're a person. You can't just fucking heal yourself, you know?
Yeah.
They brought back med packs. They basically, it's still satisfying to kill aliens and shoot. It's still fun, but you're so disempowered to the point to where you feel the war. You can fucking feel the war. Because when you're playing as Master Chief, you're playing as the fucking Master Chief, bro. You're the baddest motherfucker on the goddamn battlefield. You're dual wielding pistols and machine guns and shit. You're blowing up people with rockets and using turrets to just mow down enemies. You're bringing down scarabs and wraiths with your bare fucking hands. But when you're in ODST, no. No.
Hey, here's a question though.
Go for it.
In ODST, can you at least swim? Yes.
I don't know, man. I think you can. I hope you can.
Good, because like from what I've heard, that's apparently a big issue with Halo for some reason. Like, hey, I'm a 7-foot tall super soldier who can survive a rocket launcher to the face and flip a 15-ton tank with my bare hands. But if I step in an inch of water, I die on the spot.
Oh shit! Yeah. Yes. I love it when video game studios
being underpowered, like. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's such a cool experience, and then it just adds much more weight to Halo 3 by the time you get to the end of that game. It's kind of the beauty of the Halo franchise is that it's such a big, vast world, but it focuses a lot on like sort of the little moments, right? Like you didn't have to have a game where you play as ODSTs and have to go through Dante's Inferno because that's what this game is, the fucking metaphor for Dante's Inferno. Look it up. I'm not kidding. But they give you that. And then you got Halo Reach where you're playing as this no-name group of Spartans and you have to basically you're on ground zeros for the Covenant invasion, which is insane. You know, because the Spartans were made to deal with the insurrectionists, right? That was what they were supposed to do. But then the Covenant attacked. And then that's when they're like, ooh, how are we going to fight this enemy? Well, we have the best soldiers out there, the Spartans. You know, that's what they were made for. They're made for war. And it's brutal, but it has this sort of Spielberg-esque feel to it, to where like it can get brutal at times, though I don't feel like it justifies an M rating. That's a topic for another day. It gets brutal at times, but it's also hopeful, right? Like we've all seen Spielberg. You've seen Indiana Jones, right? Raiders of the Lost Ark.
It's been a moment, but I think I have, yeah.
Yeah, so like Indiana Jones is fighting Nazis, cursed treasures, and all that, but it's a sort of pulpy fun to where like you can watch it and just have a good time while watching it. It's the same thing with Halo, where it can get dark and gritty and like really adult at times, but it's just so much fun and satisfying, and the music just elevates it.
Yeah,
especially in Halo 3, towards the end, like when you're driving off into the ship. You got like the fucking theme playing. It's so badass. It's so badass. And it just chills all the time, just chills, you know?
Yeah.
This is just sort of the beauty of this franchise. Again, I'm not the biggest like die-hard Halo fan, you know.
You still love it.
But I still love it. I still love it. It's a childhood memory. It got me through a really bad time in my adult life. It's fucking incredible. They are some of the most well-written sci-fi stories of all time. The most personal, and yeah, it's a franchise that has its flaws and its faults, but that shit's not gonna die soon. There's always gonna be a falling for that franchise.
Yeah. Well, we've been going for at least an hour.
At least an hour.
Yeah, do we want to call it here then?
We need to call it there. I just ended up on the high note.
I can feel myself getting tired.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Okay. Yeah. Well, so yeah, that's us talking about Halo for an hour. How long it was. I don't have a timer. But yeah, I can't do the closing thing like Yasmin does, so just thank you for watching. And see you next time. Bye.
Peace, fuckers.
Yeah.